Brooklyn now a sub 500 team at home. We know they were shorthanded in the latest loss at home to the Nuggets, but is this all really a dress rehearsal here in the regular season for the Nets? What I'm trying to say is, should Kevin Durant come back healthy, Harden healthy, even Kyrie as a part-time player, when it's all said and done and they're playing in the playoffs with those three teams, does it really matter with regards to the Nets?
I mean, that is the $10 million championship question. And I can tell you this, Jim, the Nets certainly think so. Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving believe, and there's a lot of reason to think that they're right. Now, there are certainly some skeptics that I talked to around the NBA that whenever they are fully constituted, when those three guys are on the floor together, or maybe they're on the floor together for away games and two of them are on the floor together for home games, they're going to be really, really tough to beat. And while that's probably right, we've seen over the course of NBA history that great teams, or at least teams with great players that can't get in rhythm, don't always live up to expectations. So that huge question mark, that is going to be the question that defines the Eastern Conference and certainly the Nets this year whenever they get together.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's doing all he can to torpedo this championship aspirations. But when you look at the Nets with regards to the stories that are out with regards to James Harden and possibly wanting to test free agency, possibly wanting to move on, should the Nets not win a championship, do you see Harden departing in the offseason?
I can tell you that sources in and around that Philadelphia 76 organization, they really believe they have a chance to land James Harden, who has a player option, will be, if he wants to be, he will want to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. And around the greater NBA, the feeling's a little more mixed. But Jim, we've seen this before. Right? We've seen Kevin Durant want to be somewhere else. We've seen Kyrie Irving, when he's under contract, which is a totally different deal, want to be somewhere else. And we've seen James Harden, when he was in Houston under contract, want to be somewhere else. So not to dodge your answer, but nothing would surprise me. If things go badly, if things don't go well, I think James Harden's probably the guy that has the most likely sort of perspective for himself to wake up one day and say, to hell with this, I want to be somewhere else. And it's worth noting, not just Daryl Morey, who was his GM in Houston, but there are a lot of folks from that Rockets organization, the CEO included, who are now part of that Philly organization. So it makes sense if Harden wants to go somewhere else, Philly might look appealing.
And certainly that would tie Philadelphia to keeping Ben Simmons through this coming trade deadline. And, Harden's kind of voiced his displeasure, if you will, of late with the Irving.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.